Hi guys, I'm back with another lecture of FOIB, and in this lecture we're going to start with the second unit. So before we start, just a brief introduction about myself. So I'm Sandhya Rao, working as an assistant professor at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. These are the topics that we are going to cover in the subsequent lectures. Foreign market entry modes is already being covered in the first unit. I have already briefed you about what are the different types of international markets uh, by which we can enter the international market. Then factors of country evaluation and selection. We'll also talk about FDI and FPI and the different control methods in international business. So let's get started. So in international business, every businessman comes up with this question that in which country should I actually start my business with? Okay, so there are a number of factors that can help us to actually evaluate and select the different countries that we have for international business. Starting with the tool one, that's trade analysis and analogy method. So in this, we try to evaluate that if we are going to enter into the international business in this particular country, then how much trade activity is going to be increased. So we try to evaluate or we try to find out how our market size is going to increase. And if we feel that the market size is going to increase significantly, then we will go for that particular country. Then another type of tool is opportunity risk analysis. Here we try to evaluate the different opportunities that we have and the risk. So if you could see this table, we have listed out the different opportunities that any business can have vis-a-vis the market size, growth, competitive intensity, operation cost, marketing efficiency, tax rates. These factors can act as an opportunity for any business. Now we'll weigh down them as to which country gives us maximum market size, which country gives us maximum marketing efficiency, and which country gives us minimum tax rates. So we'll weigh them accordingly, and then we'll see that which country is better. And then we'll also talk about the different risk factors that we have. Political risk is there, then commercial risk is there, economic and operational risk is also there. So any country which offers us maximum risk should be not should not be considered. But every businessman will face this dilemma that he has to find a trade-off between maximum opportunities and maximum risk, because when we are getting great opportunities, definitely the risk is also going to be high. So we have to do a trade-off between these two things. So this is another method by which we can evaluate which country we actually want to go for. Then another kind of tool is product country matrix strategy. Here we try to evaluate the different products that we have. So products को लेके किस country में हमें ज़्यादा comparative advantage मिलेगा, that country will be chosen. For example, India is good in handicraft industry. So if any country, any foreign country wants to start a business of handicraft, okay, and they want to do it in international market, so they will come to India because they know that the product comparative advantage of handicraft industry is available here. So they'll try to come over here. Similarly, if any other country is good in any particular product, then other countries would try to go in that particular country and they will start producing that product because that particular country have a comparative advantage in the production of any XYZ commodity. Then another tool is market focus strategy. Here we try to evaluate the GDP factor, as in how we are going to like we try to analyze the market stats कि इस particular industry में अगर हम enter करते हैं तो what's going to be the GDP for that country, कितना हमारे पास मतलब market में उस चीज़ की demand कितनी होंगी. All these kind of things will be considered. Right, and then another tool is growth share matrix. Here we try to evaluate कि किसी भी country में कितना growth होगा and what's going to be the market share for that particular industry, for that particular company. So we have divided into four quadrants. This is a matrix. So on the vertical side, we have kept growth rate, high and low. On horizontal side, we have kept market share, high and low. So if you could see that on top we have star, then question mark, then cash cow, and then dogs. Star basically mean high growth rate and high market share. Here, the product offers high growth potential, but it also requires a lot of resources to maintain the share in the high growth markets. Okay, because market share अगर आप instantly increase करना चाह रहे हो, growth rate भी at the same time you want to increase, then definitely you will have to put in extra resources. Then cash cow का मतलब है that your growth rate is low, but your market share is high, which means that profits will be very high, but you won't be able to grow significantly. मतलब ज़्यादा growth नहीं हो पाएगी, it will be slow. Gradually you will improve. So it's cash cow, मतलब आप उससे अपना profits generate करते रहोगे जब तक आप उसको use कर रहे हो. But all of a sudden अगर आप ये assume करो कि मुझे सारी चीज़ें आज ही मिल जाए, then that's not going to happen. Then we have a question mark, which means high growth rate but low market share. So here it's very risky because you have uncertain future, and it's also called sometimes as problem child, because a highly competitive strategic business decision is required to invest resources to bring it to a category of stars by achieving a high market share. आपको resources बहुत ज़्यादा put करने पड़ेंगे अगर आपको market share increase करना है. Now here in question mark, your resources are low and your growth rate is high. So definitely it's very risky and it's very uncertain. Then we have dogs category, which means low growth rate and low market share. So here again, it does not call for much investment. तो ये एक safe bet होता है for newcomers, because आपको ना तो ज़्यादा growth rate मिलेगा ना ही ज़्यादा market share मिलेगा, because you are a new entrant in the international market. Also in every quadrant you have to follow a different marketing strategy. आपकी strategies different होंगी, positioning strategy different होंगी, because they have different features and they call for different strategies. Then we have another tool that's called country attractiveness, company strength. So here we try to focus on which particular industry we want to invest our money in. We have three different kinds of industry: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Tertiary. Primary industry means जहाँ पे agricultural sector होता है, mining and extraction का business रहता है. Secondary is relating to industry, जो आपकी heavy industries होती हैं, and tertiary sector is about communication, basically service sector, allied services होती हैं उसमें. So we have communication, transportation, insurance, banking, all these industries come under tertiary market. So now we have to decide in which country, in which industry we actually want to invest our money. Then, okay, so the next topic now is FDI and FPI. So both these two tools are used for investment in international markets. जब भी हमें अपने resources को deploy करना है, financial resources को, तो हम इन दो sources के through अपने funds को deploy कर सकते हैं. That's FDI and FPI. FDI stands for foreign direct investment and FPI stands for foreign portfolio investment. These two topics are very important. When I'm saying FDI is basically when you are investing in any company or any product, or you are starting up a new business and your aim is to control that particular thing. Okay, so the main difference between these two things is about ownership only, ownership and control. In FDI you get the ownership and you can exercise control over the things, but when we talk about FPI you cannot exercise any control over the things, because FPI is only investment in shares and bonds. Also FPI में you will not get owner control, ज़्यादा exercise नहीं कर सकते. Also it's only limited to 10%. As per the SEBI guidelines, you can only, if you are investing in the 10% of the total paid up capital of any company, it will come under the category of FPI. But if you go beyond that, let's say if you have invested 15% or 20%, in that case that will be called as FDI. Why? Because in that case you will start getting ownership rights. Control exercise करना आपको अलाउ कर दिया जाएगा, यू विल बी एबल टू एक्सरसाइज योर कंट्रोल। मैनेजमेंट में हर चीज में आपका कंट्रोल होगा, तो दैट विल बी कंसिडर्ड एज एफडीआई एंड नॉट एफपीआई। ऑल्सो in FPI, the company or the receiving company जिसको आप funds provide कर रहे हो, they are not under the obligation to pay you back. उनकी कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है कि आपको वो पैसा वापस करना है नहीं करना है। दैट इज वाई इट्स अ नो डेट नॉन डेट मेथड ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट। जैसे शेयर्स में मैंडेटरी नहीं होता है कि आपकी अमाउंट आपको रीपे करी जाएगी, सिमिलरली हियर ऑल्सो इन एफपीआई योर मनी विल नॉट बी रीपेड, आपको वापस नहीं मिलेगा। Also, the return that you're going to earn on it will depend upon the growth of economy. So it's a risky bet, but again, these are the two most suitable tools for any country to receive funds from any foreign country. Okay, so this is it. Um, the two questions that I want to give you from this lecture are: you have to explain the difference between FPI and FDI, and also you have to explain the different factors that affect the country valuation and selection. This is it.